Hello, my friends, and this is a little something for those who like titties, and those who like a good visual novel as well, but mainly for those who like titties. Anyway, this game was sent to me by Sheena Marie Bach, and you know what? It's that one time that the filter is gonna come straight off. You know, usually whenever I play certain games with certain elements involved, I usually like to keep my I usually like to not be too lewd about it, but in this case, with this game, and you see the quality of said game, well then, this is for you guys. Since February is here, well, a little something is required, so yeah. This is Sakura Spirit, yes. This is a visual novel game in which, well, a lot of, a lot of boobies happen. I mean, yeah, a lot of things happen. Yes, this is gonna be one of those kind of games. And yes, as you can tell, we can auto forward time, and there's gonna be text speed and everything else. So this game, as far as I know of, does not, and I repeat, does not have any bad or good choices. Especially these four women right here that are that are really bona fide and ready to go with their assets. So we're gonna go ahead and start a new game. Every person has a dream they wish to pursue. Yet, as people grow up, they often come to realize the truth. Dreams are nothing more than fairy tales. At least, that's what most people say. Then, what about those who do end up accomplishing their dreams? Are they merely incredibly lucky? Every man has a dream he wants to accomplish. However, there is something really important you should know, my boy. A real man doesn't give up on his dream, no matter what overwhelming challenges he might have to face. Well, we don't want to be too loud, but that's better. A real man doesn't give up on his dream no matter what overwhelming challenges he might have to face. I still remember those foolish words my dad used to say, but despite their silly nature, I find myself inspired by them. Ever since I was a young child, I have been interested in martial arts. It didn't matter whether I watched a match on television or read a manga about some heroic martial artist. It has always been my dream to become a martial artist one day. Of course, it was a bit childish for me to think that I could become a hero simply by learning martial arts. Even though I already understood that superheroes were nothing more than figments of my imagination. I still had a desire to use my strength for the sake of others. My name is Gushiken Takahiro, a 17-year-old rising judo star. And no, that's not me bragging. I'm actually about to take part in a tournament 2 weeks from now that could make or break my career on an international level. Of course, I was excited about the opportunity to finally accomplish my dreams and represent my country at a sport that I love. But at the same time also made me feel incredibly nervous. And while those worrisome thoughts haunted my mind, a familiar voice resounded from outside the window. Oi! Taka-kun! Get your butt in gear! Okay. I'll be right there, Kiyomi! Not wanting to keep Kiyomi waiting, I quickly dashed toward the front door to let her in, realizing that I was still in my pajamas. Oh dear. Hold on a second, Kiyomi. Can I grab my shoes before we head off to school? Really? I never thought our school had a strict uniform or sleepwear policy. Nice dreams, by the way. Did you borrow them from your mom? For a moment, my eyes drifted downwards, noticing that I was indeed wearing my pajamas. I let a groan of annoyance and marched back towards my room. There's nothing wrong with my jammies. The Golden Knight is a famous comic book hero in the West. Oh, so he's Gilgamesh from the Tower of Jiraga. Besides, and I gain a trading card. Besides, not everyone prefers to sleep naked like you. Mumbling those words, I started stripping out of my clothes, not particularly minding the presence of the girl behind me. That only happened once! You know very well it was super hot that night. Jeez, warn me before you strip naked in front of me, you idiot! You didn't seem to mind it when we were little. Maybe you want to turn around instead? No, stop! Don't make me kick your ass! I decided I had teased her enough and quickly pulled on my pants, proceeding with the remaining few items of clothing before I was suitably dressed for school. Besides, I had a reason for being so distracted. You've been distracted a lot lately. What's going on in that hollow skull of yours? It's that upcoming match. No idea how anyone can remain calm when an international career is at stake. I wouldn't be surprised if I had made up enough doomsday scenarios to fill up the apocalypse genre. Alright, the judo thing. I'm sure you'll do fine. I've seen some of your matches, and you kick butt! And of course, if you're really worried, you can always pray. Pray? What? Don't tell me you don't know. It's one of the school's legends, apparently. There's some shrine out in the forest that, if you pray to it, brings you good luck. Ichikawa-san said that his sister prayed to it the night before her exam and she got a perfect score. Shrine that's supposed to bring you good luck. Sounds bogus. It sounds like bogus to me, but at this point I'm willing to try anything, I guess. Oh, trust me, I've been, since I've been to Japan before, you do that. A lot of good it will do you, just to try it out, Always be willing and open for new experiences. I'll ask Ichikawa-san about the location. I'm not exactly in the mood to get lost in the forest and end up a modern-day Tarzan. Well, whatever. If you do go looking, at least send me a message to let me know. And will you hurry up? We're going to be late again. A hero is never too early, nor are they too late. They arrive precisely when they are needed. Boy, your name makes you sound like a common writer. But for the sake of avoiding detention, let's hurry. That's a wizard, not a hero, genius. How can one person be such a sports nerd and such a geek at the same time? Luck-based, dear. Luck-based. Let's not forget the Casanova and the man of the year candidate bits. They're important details. I doubt you qualify for either one of them, Pajama Boy. Anyway, let us boldly go where everyone has gone before. This game! Thank you, this game! Anyway, let's boldly go where everyone has gone before. To school! There you go, Big. There's your Star Trek reference. There you go. Nerd! Several hours later. You know, about these hours, these hours go by pretty damn fast. And sorry if it's flickering. It's not that easy sometimes. So if you see my hopefully you don't see my my background, but if it does, well, the game flickers sometimes. Later that day, I finally got a chance to talk to my classmate about the location of the shrine that Kiyomi had mentioned earlier. Gym was the last thing on the schedule for today, so once people got ready to go home, I approached the guy. Oi! Sakura! Is it true that your sister discovered some shrine that's said to bring you good luck? Let me guess. You want to date her. Well, even though I do have to admit that she's very attractive, I'm afraid she's already going out with someone. Not to mention, you're not her type. I already got my hands full dealing with Kiyomi. You can keep your sister to yourself. Joke aside, I'm more interested in that shrine. Did she mention where she found it? I didn't know there was anything near the forest, aside from the dojo. Oh, well, she said something about it being near a river. It's quite high up. To be honest, I wasn't paying much attention when she was going on about it. I mean, she was wearing this top and it was tight and... Stop! I seriously don't need to hear the details. And I doubt anyone else is interested. So, do you know anyone who might have heard about the shrine? That face, man. Are you guys talking about the lucky shrine out in the forest? The one and only. According to Ichikawa's sister, there's supposed to be one near a river. I don't know about that. But there's this fiery girl at the Sakura dojo who knows more about it. Wait, are you talking about Arya-san? Arya-sama? About this tall, ridiculously strong, and super scary? That's one. Oh, in that case, I believe I can still be of help. Takahiro-kun, I know where that place is. Of course you do. We both do. You just want to tag along, don't you? I don't think Arya-senpai will appreciate you visiting her with your usual tricks in mind. Do I need to remind you what happened last time you tried to peek at her after she finished practice? Blood, sweat, and tears. Shut up! I don't peep on the ladies. That's slander, you know. I should sue you. I would never look upon Arya-sama's glorious body in any state of nudity. Yeah, you would. Stop lying. Oh, so you haven't seen her naked yet? I've seen a bit of side boob, but the hole I found didn't really let me get a good view of the... Oh! Yeah, there we go. Someone call the cops. Ichikawa the Paper Tom has confessed. I playfully patted Ichikawa's shoulder as I turn around, grabbing my bag in the process and prepare to leave. Thanks for the tip, Ichikawa. I'll let the judge know you were most helpful during the interrogation. This isn't fair! I was coerced! I won't say another word until I speak with my lawyer. Some time passed. Okay. Ready the itchy trigger finger fate, maybe. Once school was over, decided to take my chances with the little bit of intel I had managed to obtain from my classmates. If memory served me right, Aria Senpai would be practicing at the dojo today. Of course, I knew her. She was a judo student, just like myself. But for whatever reason, she had been refusing to compete in any tournament for a while now. Aria Senpai! Are you around? I shouted her name as I parked my bike, looking around for any sign of the girl. Ha! Ha! Ah! Follow the shouts and you will find her. I grinned briefly as I saw Aria. Excuse me. I grinned briefly as I saw Aria seemingly in the middle of practicing a series of motions, almost as if she was fighting an imaginary opponent. Perhaps now was the perfect time to surprise her a little? I snuck closer, making sure to make as little noise as possible before I reached a hand towards her shoulder. Aria? Feeling a hand on her shoulder, Aria reacted. She grabbed hold of my hand and with a loud grunt, shifted her weight, curling and tipping me over her shoulder. I didn't have time to brace myself for the impact before I hit the ground like a sack of potatoes. Ha! No one sneaks up on the great Kunoichi, Aria! Oh, Taka boy! I didn't realize it was you. I'm sorry, are you okay? Kunoichi! More like Tasmanian devil. Oh, that throw didn't have a shred of mercy in it. There's no mercy in the ring, Taka boy. Better that you learn that now than in 2 weeks' time. Let me guess, you want to do some sparring, don't you? I actually came here to ask you something. I guess a little sparring wouldn't hurt. Oh? Well, what do you want to ask? We've got all afternoon and I could do a bit of... And I could do with a bit of a break anyway. Where to start? You used to take part in big and important matches in the past, right? Didn't you ever get nervous before going into the ring? Oh yeah! This one time I got so nervous I hid in the kitchen cupboards until my dad found me and dragged me to the car. Of course, that was when I was like 8. How in the world could you hide in the Never mind. Well, obviously I can't go and hide from a match. But one of my friends made this stupid suggestion that I go and pray for or something. And well, honestly, at this point, I don't do anything to calm my nerves a little. Taka boy, are you sure about this? You mean a match? Of course I am. Been practicing judo ever since I was old enough to walk. It's my chance to finally represent this country and the sport I love. Aria seemed to think for quite a long time, all the while tapping her jaw with her finger. Eventually, she snapped her fingers and grabbed a tight hold of me. All right. I'll tell you the way to the shrine, I know. But it's going to require more than a simple clap of your hands and bob of your head. You need to give something to the shrine, something of value. I guess I'll have to think of something before we get there. Thanks, Senpai. I appreciate the help. We? Oh,
No, Tucker boy. I'm not going with you. I've got training to do. Besides, you've got to take this step yourself. I can draw you a map and show you an easy way to get back here. But you'll be on your own.
You're not tagging along? Not even for a little while?
Afraid so, Tucker boy. Just let me grab some paper. I'll draw that map for you.
That must be one hell of a trip just from one map. After Adia's return, quick preparations were made, and I followed the directions noted down on the map. Surprisingly, it wasn't all that far. However, the hint on how to find my way back in case I got lost was a bit sketchy. Well, you see, you do this, and then you make a turn over here. Remember to put the circle in the middle, and just look down and you'll be able to see the roof of the dojo from anywhere on the hill. The forest near the dojo was my first challenge to overcome. A narrow path coiled along the trees, and nearby was the river Ichikawa's sister had mentioned. I followed Adia's scribbles with a bit of skepticism, but after an hour or so, I finally arrived at the supposedly legendary shrine. The shrine itself seemed surprisingly well maintained, despite being in the middle of nowhere. Made me wonder if someone could be secretly living there. Perhaps some secret martial arts master? Sir, I'm sorry, this is not King of Fighters. There's no Mr. Karate here. The thought of a hermit living in hiding within the shrine in order to prepare himself for an upcoming battle between good and evil started to dwell in my mind. Clearly, you have been watching too much tokusatsu. I guess it's too good to be true. I sighed in annoyance at the fact that, aside from the shrine itself, the grounds surrounding it seemed completely abandoned. There was no way anyone could be living there. For the time being, I decided to focus on the reason behind my visit. It took only a few moments before I gathered the courage to approach the building, and once inside, I found a rather fancy-looking altar of sorts at the back of the room. I guess this is the thing everyone's talking about. Silently, I folded up the map I had been given. Putting it inside my bag, I approached the altar. I was kind of skeptical about the whole religious aspect, so I wasn't sure if this was actually going to work. I don't even think luck will do me good in a match like this. In my opinion, there wasn't any room for things like luck in martial arts. Judo is all about using the knowledge you have gained through training. Of course, a good amount of talent also helps. There is simply no room for something as superstitious as luck. Clearly, this was going to be a match where my experience and talent would be pushed to their limits. Nothing more and nothing less.
How curious. The boy doesn't believe in superstition, and yet he stands here, surrounded by the very thing he denounces.
Upon hearing the voice, I looked around, trying to find the source, but there was no one to be seen. Who's there?
Quite the cliched question. But the right thing to ask is, where am I?
What are you talking about? Show yourself!
Not yet. Entertain me for a little while longer, would you? This is a place where, like no other. Why did you come here if you do not believe in things such as luck?
I came here to prepare myself.
Oh, do enlighten me about what this something might be that you are preparing yourself for.
I felt a little bit annoyed as the questions continued, but maybe if I kept talking to her, I'll be able to find out where she was hiding. Yeah, we're right here, where she was hiding. Jesus. I'm preparing for a tournament, a judo match.
Judo? What might that be?
Seriously, you don't know what judo is? It's a highly skilled combat art.
Aha! So you're a warrior, hesitant to go into battle, and came here in the hopes of finding the resolve to fight.
I'm not sure about the warrior part.
How fortunate. It just so happens that there is a need for one of your kind.
My kind?
A hero. This shrine brings fortune to heroes such as yourself. However, every great hero must sacrifice something in return.
Sounds like what the others mentioned. Your version sounds better, though. Laughing briefly at the story, I decided to play along and clap my hands together in prayer. So what's next? Do I offer up my allowance or something?
Don't be silly. Money is of little importance to a hero. For you, the sacrifice will be something of much greater value. I will be looking forward to seeing what destiny has in store for you.
As if on cue, I began to feel nauseated the moment the girl's words reached my ears. My head spinning wildly. Slowly, I staggered backwards, collapsing onto my back. As my vision grew blurry, the sound of approaching footsteps could be heard. Oh! Yeah, Hi there. Whips and chains? For 500, Alex? Whew. I feel so, Look at that. Camel toe.
Good luck, hero. You're going to need it.
Yes, I'm going to need my dick. I'm going to need your titties. I'm going to need, I'm going to need your head for a while. I'm going to need your soft pillows. Despite my attempts to get back up, all I managed was a brief look at the girl and her titties. And that oh so inviting cooch. Must be aware of the tail, though. That tail could kick my ass. The sight of horns and a tail left many questions before I had a chance to utter even a single word, my consciousness succumbed to darkness. And quickly I had to go to a Pokemon Center. Time passed. After getting my Pokemon back. Oh wait, wrong game. Rays of sunlight stirred me back to life. A groan of annoyance left my mouth. A groan of annoyance leaving my mouth while I tried to get back on my feet. Felt a bit dizzy, but the first thing I noticed was that I was no longer at the shrine. Instead, it looked like the forest near the dojo. Of course, my first thought was to look around and see if I could find the girl with the titties and from before, but not a trace of her presence remained. To make things even stranger, I had a big lump in my pants. The path that I had followed amidst the trees seemed better maintained than I remembered. I should probably head home. I feel so heavy downstairs. That thought was cut short when the sound of several female voices could be heard nearby. Several female voices, ladies and gentlemen.
Get back here! Hikage, stop them at once! Just what do you think I'm doing? I'm chasing them. I'm trying to stop them. Yeah, I think they know what's missing on this summer. Keep running, little one, and we just might. Keep running, little one, and we might just make it.
Just when I thought my day couldn't get any weirder. The sound of heavy footfalls could be heard nearby. What in the world is going on here? Titties. Titties. Titties and even more titties. Further ahead, I saw a couple of girls in fast pursuit of even more girls. However, there was something off about the scene. They weren't naked. I mean, something that didn't make any sense. They still weren't naked. The girls being chased had the ears and the tail of an animal, and the pursuers appeared to be armed with a katana and nagidana.
You conniving fox, come back here! Return what you stole immediately! Give me back my panties!
What the fuck? I'm gonna run with this, okay? So it was a... Imagine this if you will. Imagine this if you will, folks. Imagine this if you will.
Kage! How could you say something out loud like that? Patties, patties! Oh no! Help save us from the rampaging women!
As I watched the girls run off, I couldn't help but find myself struggling with the decision to just leave them be. Or the many hentai thoughts that are going in my head right about now. Well, I didn't know what in the world was going on. The two girls armed with rather realistic looking props, surely they can't be real, had me worried. I couldn't very well call myself a hero if I had let something like this go without acting. I'm so going to regret this. Mumbling annoyance, I had chased after the girls.
Mikage! Go around to the left! Right! I said left! Why do you always undermine me? I was saying right! You know what? Never mind. Just run after them.
As I was chasing the girls, I noticed that the trees seemed to be getting denser, and making it gradually more difficult to navigate along the path while I'm still looking at the titties.
I don't think I can run much more. I'm starting to feel a bit... Just a little longer, Michael-chan. We're almost... Michael! Michael! Not that! Not now! So sorry, One-sama. Say that,
I ran just in time to find the scenes taken straight from an action movie. The girl with the blonde hair collapsed, held in her companion's protective embrace. The two armed girls were approaching them with almost unmistakably with killing instinct running amok. Any seasoned martial artist would have felt it. I bet they would. Those girls were going to be in for a beating if I didn't stop them. Or a severe fucking if I didn't stop them.
We got you now, thieves. I'm going to personally drag your sorry butts back to town and have you both put in the stocks. Maybe I'll even show you how it feels to run around without any undies on.
Oh!
Yeah. Although I must have been having a breeze down there, it feels kind of nice. Keeps me feeling fresh and tingly.
I bet it does. Your cooch has never felt more alive, hasn't it?
Mikage, goodness. Don't you have any shame?
Apparently she doesn't.
This isn't about you. It's about our undergarments stolen.
Undergarments stolen? And this is not even Revenge of the Nerds. Damn!
And these two criminals being brought to justice. One-sama, it hurts. My head hurts. Shh, it's going to be okay, little one. Hey, guards, if you're so desperate to have your underwear back, then here, catch!
Stop it right there! However, before I was able to interrupt conversation, the silver-haired girl tossed something into the air. Whatever it was flying straight towards my head. The two samurai girls instantly grew flustered. Pulling the items off my face, I raised them into the air, looking like a professor examining an important sample while the thieves made their escape.
A pink bra and lacy black panties.
Takahiro, you lucky bastard! You know you're gonna get fucked up for it. Oh boy. I knew this wasn't going to end well.
Ah! You there! Are you in cahoots with those crafty foxes? And hand those back immediately! Those are evidence of a crime and not for anyone else to touch!
Well, for what it's worth, touching is good.
Drop the panties right now! I thought you didn't mind the panties.
I'm innocent, proven guilty! It's one of the golden rules of the court. Just stop pointing those weapons at me so I can hand over your
Undies without being turned shish kebab.
I'm enjoying the music though. Save some, dude!
What? No, stop! Shut up! Just drop the evidence and walk away! I am Tsukino Mio, chief of the village guards, and I am ordering you to drop what you're holding right now!
I don't know of any village guards, and I seriously doubt a cop would go around dressed like that and wielding a katana. Unless if it was Rurouni Kenshin, that'd be something entirely different. More importantly, the ground here is muddy and dirty. Are you sure I should drop the evidence here? I mean, I could... Ah! Before I could react, the pink-haired girl lunged toward me, the pointy end of her naginata aiming for my guts. My reflexes caught on just in time as I was able to palm away the spear as it sailed through the air. I struck upwards on the wooden shaft of the weapon, sending it up into the air and causing the girl to lose her balance.
Narumi, I didn't order your attack!
Fine! I'll give them back! Jeez. Just my luck to find a bunch of crazy girls with weapons. Extending and shuddering the hand that held the undies. I tried to hand them over. Something that I would end up regretting. Without taking a sniff first.
Huh, you think I'd fall for something so simple? Fool! You may have fooled me once, but I won't let that happen again.
The woman swung her weapon wide, arcing the thick wooden pole into my side before I could dodge. She then lunged forward and grabbed me tightly. I bet she did. Pulling my arms around behind my back, leaving me with sore ribs and in a prone position. Ouch. I could have fought back, but I figured it would only lead to more fighting. With the possibility of ending up stabbed, I decided to remain passive. The sword-wielding girl stepped forward and grabbed the silky underwear from my hand triumphantly. I bet she did.
Your methods might be crude, but they do get results, Hikage. Tie him up. We'll bring him in for questioning. Probably knows where those pesky thieves are hiding. Right!
And people wonder why criminals want to resist arrest at all costs. I mumbled this weakly as the girl with the nagina tied my wrist together with rope, and I soon felt myself dragged by the duel towards the city. Surely, once we're out of the forest, you too will stop this act of yours and let me go, right? As much as I like to fool around, I have more important things to do. Oh yeah, Takahiro, you like to fool around. Hey, one every guy would like to fool around with these two. Without the weapons in hand, of course.
The city, ha! We're not taking you all the way there. You'll be spending the night in the village cells, thief.
Who are you calling a thief? I'm the victim! First I get undies tossed in my face, and then I had to deal with physical abuse, and now these accusations? Besides, there's no village around these parts. It's a city. You know, Tsukino Toshi? Silence. Hikage, if he speaks again, before we get to the village, you have my permission to knock him unconscious. I bet you do. Tsundere Tyrant.
That's funny.
And that's how I ended up on my way to a jail cell. Cuffed and dragged by two girls, both of who I start to suspect were crazy. When we exited the forest, alarm set off in my mind. The city I had lived in my whole life, it was gone. You've got to be kidding me. If I wasn't in Tsukino Toshi, then where the hell was I?
Ain't no talking. Come on. I don't want to bop you that much. Kinda. And maybe a punch or two. I just want to know how the heck you blocked my strike so easily.
Your attack had a lot of power behind it, but it was kind of predictable. With the right movement and enough force, that's the result you get. Anyway, I play along for a bit. Where in the world are we? This clearly isn't my hometown. I mean, the buildings look more like they belong in some sort of classic samurai movie.
Huh? What the heck is a movie? This is Harumaru. It's been here forever. Hikage, I thought I told you to silence him if he spoke again. Actually, you told me that I could, but you didn't tell me that I had to.
Must be tough being the subordinate of someone like that.
Be quiet or I'll silence you for good.
Okay, chill. This time it didn't seem to be an idle threat. The girl had unsheathed her katana, and now I was resting the edge of the blade against my throat. That was already starting to regret having played a hero earlier. Hopefully, there will be someone with more common sense in the village. Several minutes later, I soon found myself confined with a small room. The stern-looking tsundere of a girl glaring down at me, while the other girl, who was apparently called Narumi, seemed to have softened up a little. From what I had gathered during their conversations, they had called the village elder to help oversee my question.
What purpose did you have? What purpose did these stuffs have? Or are you some pervert who gets off smelling?
It's supposed to be gets off.
Or are you some pervert who gets off sniffing girls' undies? I ought to castrate you!
Damn, woman! Damn! I think you're using that sword a bit too much there, and do not point it down at my jewels, thank you. They had to have some use, damn it. They are not gonna get cut off, I can tell you that right the fuck now. I already told you! I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Not to mention anything worn by you would probably smell sour. Ooh! Oh! So are you saying that she has, below the belt, literally. Ooch! I couldn't see too well from the cell where they had put me, but I was almost certain that I could hear Narumi laughing nearby.
Tsukino Dono, please calm down.
You brought him in to learn the reason behind his presence in the forest, didn't you?
That is correct, Elder Sama. I believe he was working together with the fox bears to steal panties and other undergarments.
Why would I want to steal from you? That's the real question. Why would I want to steal from you? And just looking at your face, you can't say panties without without stuttering the word panties. Like panties. Moving on. Objection! Thank you. What are you objecting to, young man? Let me go on and finish right. Hold on 1 second. The evidence surrounding the defendant's accusation was fabricated! Narumi-san, would you please answer this question for the judge? Was the defendant, that is myself, anywhere near those girls while you two were in pursuit of them?
Hold it! Just who are you calling a judge here? Lower your voice or I will strike you down! Hey, Mio-san, maybe the whole angry accusation thing isn't working. This guy clearly isn't a bandit. We could just ask him why he was up there in the woods.
Voice of reason right there, thank you.
If he has a valid reason, then sure. If not, then he's clear of petty thief. And we'll use him as a punching bag in the yard.
What the fuck is wrong with you women? Finally! And here I thought it was about to become a turnabout case. You know where that joke was going. I wasn't going to throw that shit out. I saw it deeply, partly amused by my own act despite the seriousness of the situations. Who would have ever thought mimicking characters from games and movies would end up getting me out of trouble? When all else fails, emulation prevails. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. When all else fails, emulation prevails. That's right. As long as I didn't become an ace prisoner. Oh, God damn! As long as I didn't become an ace prisoner, things would hopefully turn out for the better. A wise idea, Narumi-chan. How about you start by giving us your name? Gushiken Takahiro. So, what were you doing in the forest when these two were chasing the thieves? Not entirely sure myself. One moment, I was praying at a shrine, hidden inside the forest. Next thing I knew, some weird girl was talking to me. A girl. Yes, a girl with horns and a tail. I know, it sounds weird, but I could have sworn I saw her before. I must have fainted. After that, I woke up somewhere in the forest. Tsukino Dono. Narumi-chan, do you recall the stories behind the shrine near our village?
Forgive me, Elder Sama. I do not recall.
I know it's a place of high spiritual energy, sacred place, but
I know it's a high spiritual energy, sacred place, but I can't remember the details. Sorry, Grandfather.
The shrine belongs to Tsuyuri, a powerful spirit that has been watching over our village for as long as anyone can remember. Unlike the fox spirits, we tend to avoid going too deep in the forest.
I still think I could get rid of those pests once and for all if you would just let me go in and find their home. It's probably hidden in some damp cave on the hill or some rundown old house.
Humans and spirits rarely mingle, even if they meet with good intentions. The fact that this lad says he saw a spirit means there's a chance he was there for a reason. Not to mention, did you take a good look at him yet? He seems disorientated and his clothes look foreign. I'm wearing a gi, dude. How does that look foreign?
Not to admit, he did seem to be talking gibberish earlier. He claimed to be from a city near here, but there's nothing like that around for miles. He was also talking about something called a movie, and he used some fighting techniques that I never even seen before. He's still a pervert.
I'm not a pervert. No, I am. It's the guy talking on the mic that is a pervert. I'm proud to say I happen to know what being a pervert is. Thank you. It's perfectly natural for a guy my age to be curious about certain things. Besides, you're talking about how the panties ended up in my face. I had nothing to do with it. Tsundere Tyrant.
What did you just call me? I ought to smash you to pieces, you brat! Oh, wait. Now that I think about it, those two foxes did look like they were just abandoning them, but Grandfather, what does all this mean?
Can't be certain. However, I believe it's unlikely that it's working together with the fox. I believe it is unlikely that he's working together with the fox bears. So, never heard of any human to come upon. Let's see. Still, I've never heard of any human to come upon such a spirit as Tsuyuri. Yeah. Still, I've never heard of any human to come upon a spirit such as Tsuyuri. I'm messing up on my Japanese. I'm so sorry. Tsuyuri. Let me read that in full slowly. Still, I've never heard of any human to come upon a spirit such as Tsuyuri. I dare say he might not even be of this world. I'm from the modern day era, thank you. Wait. Are you trying to say that I'm in a different world now? From where you come from? That would be the most logical explanation. In what world would that be considered logical? But I have an important tournament to participate in 2 weeks from now. Well, no one has experienced something like this before. We will have to think of how to deal with you, or if it even possible to get you back to your old world. In the meantime, a knight in the cell won't hurt. He did assault a village guard and he resisted arrest. He could stay here until he rots for all I care, but I suspect the elder will wish to have a talk to you soon. Hikage, I'm going to clean myself off. I suggest you do the same. I would take offense for implying that I stink, but that was one hell of a run. Those fox spirits run fast. I would still like to know more about those techniques, Takahiro-san. If you do happen to stick around, I might want to go a few rounds with you. I bet you do. It's not like I'll be going anywhere for the time being. It's only for a few hours while we discuss what to do with you. A person such as yourself would end up causing quite the commotion amongst the villagers. So it is necessary to convince them that you mean them no harm before we release you. And that was how I found myself stuck in a jail cell, while the people responsible for my situation left to deal with personal errands. This sucks! As if being sent to a different world wasn't bad enough, I'm stuck in jail with my only company being
a pair of beautiful, majestic fox sisters, you lucky boy.
a pair of beautiful... Wait a second.
pretty boy.
A familiar face appeared at the top of my cell. A blonde girl with golden eyes. As I watched, she flipped over and landed in front of my cell, waving her hands at me. From the side of the cell, another girl appeared, a wry grin on her face. Oh my god. Sexy time. Oh! She reminds me of that girl from Namco Cross Capcom. Ah, it's the panty thieves! If you're here to reclaim your hostages, they are already back where they belong.
Nope, we saw the guys go into the baths and swiped them main silk again.
Look! Oh god, no! No! Good lord, no! Why are you showing me those panties again? Oh dear lord. I hope they're fresh, dear, because I swear to God, if they're funky, nasty, and they have some sort of juices, I do not even want a smell, let alone a lick, on my personage, okay? With that, she pulled out a pair of lacy silken underwear from her sleeve and stretched it out with her thumbs, showing off her panty prize to me. Oh dear. You came all the way back here to snatch their underwear again. Yes, she came to snatch the snatch from the underwear. She came to snatch from the snatch that was wearing the underwear. And I'm not sure the Tsundere Tyrant fits that label.
The cutie with the katana? You'd be surprised. I happen to believe that she is as innocent as one can be. She seems far too uptight to let any man touch her.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That woman right there, the one with the katana, she needs the date.
As for returning to the village, we have a debt to settle.
Smiled weakly as I wondered what the fox meant by debt. I'm not sure what this debt of yours might be, but I think you better leave before those two return. You don't seem to be on friendly terms with the samurai girls.
Wait, if he doesn't know about it, we can just leave with me somehow. Aiko, this is not how we do things. Young man, your actions allowed us to escape our earlier predicament without harm. This places us in your debts, for which we are repaying you. Maiko, do the magic.
What magic?
Okay!
The younger girl walked forward and placed her hands upon the locked door of the cell. She began mumbling something and I couldn't even begin to understand. And her hands began glowing brightly. Takahiro, it's called magic, okay? That's what it is. Different worlds, girls wielding weapons, and now fox girls using magic. Next on the list, I'm going to find a talkative magic sword and end up destined to save the world. Takahiro, this is not Dark Cloud. I'm sorry. This is not Dark Cloud. This is not Who Framed Roger Rabbit. This is never again. That said, I was curious to see what this magic would do to the lock keeping me imprisoned. Ah! The glow flared for a moment before fading. The glow. Bleh, I can't read. Let me put on my glasses for a moment. Of course, I'm reading with this without my glasses. I've been reading this for about an hour now. So, let's do this properly. The glow flared for a moment before quickly fading. There was a hiss, and then a sizzle as the lock dripped to the floor in a mess of melted metal.
Well done, Mayako-chan. You did very well. Relax for now, alright?
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be the most surprised about. The fact that a girl just melted a steel lock, or that I'm starting to accept that this is normal. Sir, this is anime. It's normal.
This level of magic is extraordinary. Mayako-chan is quite gifted. But as I said, We are here to sell our debts. If you would like, we can escort you back to the forest where we first encountered you. I do, however, suggest that you decide quickly. The guards do not bathe for long. I should know. I have observed them for a while.
I bet you have! Well, I don't plan on sticking around, so I'll gladly accompany the two of you out of here. Maybe I'll find my way back home. So I think now's a good time to stop here. And in the next part, the question remains, will Takahiro actually find his way home? Or will there be more titties he will encounter along the way? And will there be more snatch for the snatch? Find out next time in the next exciting episode of Sakura Spirit. Thanks for watching.